you know, the camaraderie in the dressing room's just been great in there, and that's what we're trying to build now. I think for our supporters, and I understand all the disappointment, that was great to come back from 1 down at home. You know, when I've questioned sometimes, are we soft, have we got resilience and all of the above, I think you've seen the character of the squad today, and great credit to the players and the supporters.
I wanna be with you. 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 Let's go to
Hello again, my friends, and you are my friends, and welcome to the flagship podcast from Talking Town. And beware, big opinions are incoming. It is, of course, Sunday, the 26th day of September. Sorry, that was my WhatsApp pinging if you heard that. And Ipswich Town fans are split, it seems, following yesterday's 1-1 draw with Sheffield Wednesday. That was manager Paul Cook at the top of the show following yesterday's game. But first, let's get some live comments from the chat. Of course, this is the show that gives you the chance to have your say. There'll be a link incoming. I think I've already posted it on Twitter for the eagle-eyed ones among you. But that'll be incoming. We'll try and get as many as we can. But, you know, obviously, we can't get everybody in. So there is, of course, tomorrow night's Talking Town Extra Time. The show is designed to give more people a say. That if you can't get on today, you can get on tomorrow's show. Guarantee. We've got Colin Plum. Good point yesterday. But could and should have been all three. We were the better side, no doubt about it. Afternoon, Lee Brown's in the room. Matt Stannard's in the room. Yes, Matt, a new watch would be lovely. However, it wasn't my fault we were late today. The other half is not well, and the world must stop when she is not well. Matt Stannard, still loving Bond's cheek. That's what you get for dicking about. As for Harper, 100% if he had passed, the flag would have gone up quicker than you could say Peacock Farrell. Although, to be fair, Harper had 2 or 3 options. He had Chaplin, he had Piggott, and he had Bond. Or he had a chance to have a shot. John Thought, great full-time show yesterday. Lots of different opinions. Unlike Radio Suffolk, just one caller. And a ridiculously negative Mick Mills. Yeah, I'm not going to diss Mick Mills. He's an absolute legend, so it's not my place to do that. He probably knows more about football than I will ever know in my lifetime if I lived it twice. Who would be my GOAT this week? Well, fair enough, John. Sarah Davis, winner of our competition. Nice to see you yesterday, Sarah. Hope you both got back to Dagenham all well. We've got Leighton Durrant first going to see for me next Saturday. Can't wait. Hopefully, you'll see a win. Michael Finch, although it was on an okay performance yesterday, I must say Wednesday were piss poor. The worst team I've seen at Portman Road so far. Right. Now, let's remind everyone, you can, of course, catch Talking Town podcast on, believe it or not, podcast platform. Funny that, isn't it? But yes, wherever you get your podcast, just search Talking Town ITFC. And I have to say a huge thank you and hello to hundreds of new listeners who have found us on our audio platforms. Hundreds of you. So hello and thank you for watching us and choosing Talking Town. If you get value from what we do, please leave a 5-star review. If you're watching live or watching on catch up, please don't forget to hit subscribe. And if you are getting value from this show, and if we make you smile at any point, which I'm sure we will, please do hit that like button. By now, you all know who I am, but in case you are new here and have forgotten, had a bang on the head, I'm, of course, your host for today's show, the Governor. I'm the man who flips the buttons, twiddles the knobs. Wasn't meant to be here today. Kate Roy was meant to be sat in this chair hosting, so I hope Kate gets well soon. But you are the loyal and amazing ITFC fan base that Cookie couldn't speak highly enough of yesterday. If you've heard Cookie's interviews, you would have heard he's mentioned you a couple of times. You're absolutely fantastic. And I have to say, myself, as a man who has criticised the noise from Portman Road, I have to say yesterday, you lot were absolutely, at times, phenomenal. You blew Wednesday away at times, and it was a real rocking Portman Road, and it felt like a real old school big tie. I loved it. I have to, from when I was sat in the cocktail stand, it sounded really, really good. But I must take the time, first of all, to thank my wonderful friends. They're on the screen now. These, of course, the TT Ultras, the fifth stand TT Ultras. What does it mean? Quite simply, these are the people who make Talking Town. I may sit here, fiddle the buttons, and of course, you may see wonderful contributors with their big opinions. But without these people, we cannot do what we do, and we certainly could not be an FCA finalist because they keep the lights on and keep us growing and investing in our tech and many others. A platform. If you, like these friends of mine, get value from Talking Town, then please head over to our Ko-Fi and, of course, subscribe and set up a payment starting from £5 a month, 5, 10, whatever you may be. You are in full control of that payment. You can cancel it any time. Just like our shows, we put you in full control. But it really does allow us to grow and keep growing. And maybe I might buy some umbrellas, some branding on. So when it starts pissing down with rain on a match day, we've got branded umbrellas. Right. I'm going to start with this man today because last night was a big fight. I know he's a big boxing fan. I've got doubts about the all Brit tie happening now. He seems to think it will carry on. It is, of course, our media mogul. Matthew Phillips, how you doing, Matt? You all right?
How are we doing? You okay?
Doing very well. Well, no, I bottled it. I made a bullet point for an intro for you, and it said, and I bottled it. But I'm gonna be brave now. You're here, and it says, joining me are two big opinions, passionate contributors. But let's start with a man whose opinions stand up taller than he does.
Very good. Yeah.
But I bottled it at the last moment. How are you, Matt? Obviously, a big fight last night. Usyk took AJ to school.
Yeah.
AJ got dismissed. I don't think it's going to happen now, Fury AJ. And if it does, it will be way past Fury's best. That's what I think.
Maybe. I mean, we did say, what was the shout last week or the week before? I said stick a tenner on 7-1 for an Usyk stoppage. Nearly happened, didn't it, in the 12th? But yeah, Usyk's good, man. I mean, like, everyone thinks he's tiny. 6'3" for crying out loud. That's taller than. Yeah. That's taller, and he weighs heavier than Muhammad Ali ever did at heavyweight. So yeah, it kind of panned out, and I think AJ would take the rematch. This is the problem when you've got these big fights now. Everyone keeps getting tied into rematches.
How's he going to beat him? He ain't going to beat him in the rematch, is he? Because he goes out and tries to blow him away with power. He's going to get. Well,
me and Rich, we were chatting earlier. Me and Rich were saying, for whatever reason, AJ decided to try and box the boxer. I sometimes wonder if AJ he's always into learning. You know, he came into the game quite raw, and he's always learning. I sometimes think he just wants to match minds with the best. And probably that wasn't using the attributes that he should have just held the ring and fired his right hand out and used his size and used his extra weight advantage, like Fury did to Wilder in the second fight.
But do you think surrounding himself with too many voices? Because it seemed to be at times he had too many game plans. Like he was going from one game plan in one round to another, then back to another. It just seemed to be like
this way Usyk bamboozles you, with the footwork and all that kind of thing. I'm really as a boxing purist. I'm really pleased Usyk won. I really like Joshua as well. As we saw last week, I've met him and had my picture with him. He's a really nice guy, really great guy. But as a boxing purist, I love Usyk just because it's just he makes it into an art form of science. Brilliant to watch.
Absolutely. Well, yeah, no, he truly does. Obviously, we heard from Cook at the top of the show there. We've got another clip from Cook, and then we're going to bring in your tag team partner.
It's a great game. It's a genuinely good game. I thought it was two really good teams. From our point of view, the solidity of our team looks a lot better than the early games. Probably felt Sheffield probably had more possession first half, but we certainly had the better chances. And second half, I thought we were excellent. I thought we just kept knocking at the door. We wanted to be patient with our play. Probably got to a stage where it looked like we mightn't score.
But we've got quality in the club now. You know, we've got goals. Connor Chaplin comes off the bench. Joe Piggott, you know, having a great effect. With Keem Harper again, who has a big moment in stoppage time. And it was just great for the stadium. Fantastic crowds, who really good clubs, big strong clubs, who having a right good go at each other. Sheffield Wednesday support was brilliant. Ipswich support was fantastic. And probably both managers go home okay.
I love it. Up, down, more solid. We looked good. We gave it a really good go. All positives from Cookie. This man tweeted out last night, didn't deserve to win it, didn't deserve to lose it. If he can pull his eyes away from the golf, he is, of course, your tag team partner in the Mogul. He is from parts unknown. His opinions weigh well over a ton. He is, of course, Hard Truths, Richard Cruncher Moss. Welcome in, Mr. Moss.
Hi,
Good
Ray.
afternoon. How are you all doing?
Good.
I've got toothache, but we'll park that. That's for the dentist's problem tomorrow morning, first thing. But yeah, I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. Your opinion's way over the done. His stand taller than he is. This is going to be a really good show. I'm looking.
The golf can get in the bin. The golf can get in the bin because the Yanks are absolutely handing down arse to us, aren't they?
I know.
What's the score?
11-5, Matt. They need 3.5 points today from the singles. I didn't watch none of the golf last night. I watched the boxing, and I was talking to Matt off before we come on air, and it was weird, wasn't it? Joshua, the weight advantage he's got, the height advantage he's got. Why did he not just turn it into a brawl, Matt? You know, he was 4 rounds.
He would have been smart.
First 4 rounds.
Simon Wall in the chat was there last night. Shout out, Simon.
Was he? Oh, nice.
Nice, yeah, good one. Looks great. It's unbelievable for those kind of events, isn't it?
I've always been to get you here. Joshua has always been a hard job for me. Always. Dylan White showed Joshua up for me when he rocked him in one of the middle rounds. That was
he was on 5 Live, Dylan White, and he actually said, "Why did he not just?" Because he said if I was in there, I'd get knocked out or knock him out, and that's what he's got to do. When the rematch comes, he's just got to go in there and have a go. If he gets knocked out, he gets knocked out. But he's always got a puncher's chance, hasn't he? But last night, he didn't seem to have anything behind his punches, Matt. His jab wasn't working, but it was a great performance from Usyk. He was fantastic.
However,
he's gone from cruiserweight undisputed champion to undisputed heavyweight now.
Only the third. Third ever.
Yes. We are, of course, talking town. So let's move it on to town. We've heard from Cook twice there. Lots of opinion in the chat. One really negative one in the chat as well. Not naming any names. But have you seen David Attenborough's commentary on our goal from yesterday?
Is reading this? What is this?
No, I have not. Send that to me on DM.
It's on Twitter.
I've not seen that.
I've just on there. I've not actually listened to it yet, but I've seen some.
Macaulay gone prowling, I reckon it is. Something like that, yeah.
This is a game that has really split the fan base. And I mean, even amongst ourselves, I think we're going to be a bit split here. Because, Crunchy, we'll start with yourself. You tweeted out last night, didn't do enough to win it, didn't do enough to lose it, draw probably fair. Let's start with yourself, first of all. How did you see yesterday's game? And I'll come to you, Matt.
Actually, and if you look at the goal we scored as well, that ball was out of play. When the keeper's caught it, Bonds hooked it back in. I've seen the angle this morning. It looks well out of play, so it probably should have been a goal kick. But if you go on chances, look, I know we were sort of wasteful, weren't we? Bond, the chance he had early on, he's got way too much time, and he's caught in about 3 minds, isn't he? He doesn't know what to do. Does he chip him? Does he hit it? Should have put his laces through it, shouldn't he, really?
Come too early a little bit, in the sense of his first.
And then he had a couple second half. He had a left-footed one, didn't he, down on the left-hand side of the box. The other one, I see that this morning. That was a lovely bit of play. The one where it starts with Burgess, it goes out to Fraser, plays it to Penny, lovely little ball into Carroll, who does a little flick around the corner. Lovely play by Fraser, and he's took a touch. Really good defending. And that sort of gives me hope. When I see passages of play like that, guys, we haven't seen that for a long while down at town. You know, it's just about putting it together more during the game. And look, Wednesday, they didn't offer a lot going forward, but they defended well. You know, it was pretty similar, I would have thought, to our performance at Lincoln last Saturday.
Okay, Matt, how did you see the game?
Yeah, the game was really split, and I came out of the stadium thinking, we didn't. Well, I thought it was going to take something special to get back into the game, and it did in the end, didn't it? Took a little bit of creative thinking to get us back in. But I remember coming over to the Alf Ramsey statue to see everyone. I'm thinking, we didn't really. Same as Rich, probably didn't deserve to win it, didn't deserve to lose it. And Colin was like, we deserve to win that game 100%. And I remember you saying that as well, Mine. So it was interesting to see how, even in that small moment, we could see how split maybe the fan base was on a bigger level. But it would have been harsh to lose that game. And as we were saying in the post-game show yesterday, but you don't want to be getting into this kind of fashion of winning a game like we did at Lincoln and then going back to Portman Road and losing. Because we're only going to climb this table if we start slowly having points in every game, aren't we? And Tuesday is a great option to build again, and you've suddenly got 7 points from 3 games. It's only you're in promotion form, 2 points a game. It would have been harsh to lose, but Sheffield Wednesday would have been a championship team still if they'd been docked 12 points. So they come down with a good pedigree. Barry Bannon in the middle, 30 caps also for Scotland. Good player, pulls the strings, as the Sheffield Wednesday guys told us earlier in the week last week.
Yeah.
I think it's probably a good point in all honesty.
I thought we controlled him quite well. I thought Bannon didn't. I did say to you, Mine, I think off the show Friday, he reminds me of Matt, Barry Bannon for them. When James was on from Wednesday on Thursday, he was on from Wednesday on Thursday, if that makes sense. But he said he tries to do everything. And he reminds me of Alan Judge when he was at Town. He's everywhere, probably everywhere where he shouldn't be. And where he should be, he's not there enough. And I thought he was in and out of the game yesterday. I didn't think he was that good, to be quite honest. No. He's a good player. I do rate him.
And picked up a knock, didn't he? Picked up a knock and went off.
Got a few comments. Stuart Darnell, nice to see you both yesterday, Stuart. Bond took too many touches and all 3 of the chances. It was odd. He's in good form. Colin Plum could and should have scored at least 3. Mike the Fisherman, if and buts don't win games, neither does maybes. 5 minutes, great play. 4 to 5 times, no minutes, don't win games. We were the better. This is where I stand on it. We were the better team from the first minute to the last minute. We controlled the game. I can't honestly sit here today and remember too many times Haladkin had any saves to make. Other than the goal, in fact, I don't think he made a save in the game. From a clear-cut chance, whereas I can list you a number. We had Burns' offside goal, which wasn't offside in my opinion. You've got Bond 3 or 4 chances. We had Harper right at the death.
But did we really test their goalkeeper?
More than they tested our goalkeeper, And
he had 1 save from Bond, Martin, and that was it.
He had 2 saves from Bond.
But they weren't exactly.
Bond hit it straight out. No, but you're still putting it. You're still on target. Well, I don't know about
take chances. This is the trouble with us at the minute. We're one win in 8 games, right? And we've played some quite good football in 7 of them games. We'll take the Bolton game out, but we make mistakes at both ends. Yesterday, we cut them out defensively, but when you get them chances, and to start climbing this table, we've got to be a lot more ruthless. We have to be ruthless. Absolutely. And I know Bond done really well at the end there. I don't know how you've made him man of the match, Martin, on the Talking Town thing. That is an absolute joke. Bond's not man of the match. No way. You
do know how majority vote works, right?
Like, what are you giving him man of the match for? A bit of quick thinking.
Yeah.
Well, who
was
man of the match for you then? Who was making man of the match? Who stood out? Who put in a performance that got us that draw?
I'm not giving him man of the match on just one thing like that.
Really?
No, I thought Burgess probably was our best player. If I was looking at the game overall, Bond had a stinker. He missed. You're saying he missed 3 good chances. How can you give someone man of the match when he doesn't score a goal?
He thought outside the box. That was.
I get that.
We'd have lost the game otherwise. The game was lost had he not done that.
And then it would have been down to him because he missed a handful of chances. But in the end, he redeemed himself. But you could also say he's got himself into those positions to miss those chances.
I thought Burgess
watched that goal. There's a different angle, man. When you see it from, I think it's Kings of Anglia, from the side of the goal. They have done the cardinal sin. All their defenders. You look at all their defenders. What do they all do? Turn their back on the ball, and none of them are looking. And I agree with you. He is awake. And I know Bond's done well, but I think you've also got to give Scott Fraser a lot of credit there because when he's played that ball back to him, he could have easily lashed that at goal. But he's done what Harper didn't do, and he took the right option, hasn't he?
Well, Yeah, he has, but that's Scott Fraser to a T. He sees the game in a different way to
People said
everybody
he had a
else.
poor game yesterday, mate. I thought he's one of them players. He's gonna. I think he'll divide opinion because he's not the quickest. He's still being shoved out wide, but he's still, even though he plays wide, he still gets in them little pockets where I want to see him more. You know, I want to see him in the 10, and I still think the number 10 role in our team at the minute, in the game so far, no one has really grabbed at that shirt and said, "Look, I play here all the time," and it's not his fault all the time because he's the one who seems to. They're trying to.
It's going to be Selena, isn't it? It's going to be Selena from this point on.
I'd have Selena out on the left, and I'd have Fraser in the 10.
Well, you may see when Edwards is fit again, Burns drop out. I mean, Burns. If you look at the front three, Burns is good, but he's the weakest. He's the weakest point of the three for me in terms of quality and reading the game. And he's yeah. I mean, that ball Selena put through to him. I mean, that's got to do better with that. You've got to do.
Who'd you say? Where's Burns?
Yeah.
He's been excellent. He's been excellent this season.
He's been great, but is he better than Carl Edwards? No, he's not. No. Is he better than Selena? No, he's not. Is he better than Fraser? No, he's not.
Stability, availability. Carl Edwards isn't fit.
Well, no, but he is supposed to be coming back. We've got an injury clip coming up from.
But he's played 2 or 3 games, and it's the second coming of Messi with Carl Edwards, as far as our fans are concerned. And he hasn't really. He's done a lot of running. Has he created any goals yet? Has he scored any goals yet? No. Let's not get carried away with putting weight on these young. You put weight on Harper after 5 minutes of a pre-season friendly against Crystal Palace. You said he's going to be player of the year.
I did. I'm a Ipswich Town fan that drinks Kool-Aid. Every single player, one of these players is
Kool-Aid.
I mean, if we're not going to put pressure on their shoulders and talk about them, we might as well just end the broadcast now, so to speak, because this is what you do as a fan. You do put expectations on their shoulder.
I do get that.
So when Selena slips in Burns, I want either a shot or much better than what he ended up doing, because that's a great opportunity.
I thought Selena was poor yesterday.
Yeah, he's still struggling to get into games.
By what regard? Because who's putting pressure on shoulders? Because he's coming back from a major illness.
Yeah,
and I felt yesterday at times he was reading, you know, a novel, and the rest were playing dot to dot.
I think sometimes he was trying too hard. He was trying too hard, Martin. I think yesterday.
Yeah.
Patience is needed with him, isn't it? Football doesn't have a lot of patience, especially our fan base.
I think patience is needed across the whole team.
This is it. But
I just sacked the manager the other week, Martin. Have you changed your tune now?
No, absolutely. Well, no, of course not. Well, but we've now won and drawn, so we've not lost in 2. But the fact that I was probably sacking the manager in fact, I was 2 weeks ago, a week ago. 2 weeks ago now. And I'm still sitting here saying yesterday, arrow pointing up, played really well, didn't deserve to lose, looked good. Because I'm not like some people. I don't have to double down on my opinion because now I'm in that sort of rabbit hole of, well, I've said he's got to be sacked, so I will try and look for every single negative.
Here's the thing. Remember us talking about expectation. Is our expectation as a fan base, a collective fan base for that team and Cook's team, the new team he's put together, is that too much in the first season? I mean, what are we all expecting? To be champions?
What I said to Mike, I spoke to Mike Brown this morning, and I said this might take 2 years.
Yeah,
I know we all want to get out of this league. I get that. Yeah. Everyone hates going to places like Morecambe and Accrington. All due respect to them, we don't want to be going there. And you look at that game yesterday. That's a championship game every single day of the week. Well, I see that game in the Premier League, Matt. You know, I've seen Sheffield Wednesday Town in the Premier League, and that's where we want to go. Yes. But if it takes a little bit of time, but then like you just said, no one's got any patience. They want everything done yesterday.
I don't think the owners will have 2 years of patience unless you finish inside the playoffs in the first year.
Yeah, I'd get that. I would just remember sitting at half-time thinking, is it just too much what we were putting in terms of expectation to get promoted this season? Because we've all got carried away with the wave of the Americans coming in, the 19 signings, Ashton coming in. All great stuff that we've not seen at all in the Evans era, dating back to 07 or when it was. I just wonder if we just, we've got to just bed in this season. Then next season is when maybe we can push on a little bit. Maybe not. There's a lot of games still to go. We can still climb up the table.
Then Cook might not get next season. This is when I spoke to my boss the other Saturday. He said the next manager might be the one who benefits more than Cook does, and he could be well right there. I think. Yeah. Well, because Martin said before, whatever happens, we're going in an upward curve. It might not be going up this season, but the club's on the up, isn't it? And it doesn't matter really, does it really matter who the manager's going to be? Look,
Not
I'm a Cook fan. I don't want him to go, but I do get what you're saying about, say, teams like Watford, a bit like Leeds, you know.
You have to realise when it's not working and when it's not working. But he seems to now, touch wood, sort of turn that corner. But if we just pick up on that point there before we go back to the game, if you're both saying, right, it might not happen this year, it could be next year, what is your level for this year then? Because I think if the owners have that same perspective, they're going to want a top 6 finish this year, and whatever happens in the top 6 happens. And if we don't go up, fine, it's top 6, then we'll go again. If it's not a top 6 finish, I believe it's not. I've not spoken to the owners, I don't know this for sure, but I think they'll look at it as a failure. Bye Cook, and then we'll go again. Where are you two on it in terms of, okay, not this year, but what is this year then?
I do agree with you. I think his playoffs is a minimum, isn't it? You don't know what happens when you get in the playoffs, but if you look at the table at the minute, and I know it's early, it's only 8 games, but you're looking at teams like Wigan and Sunderland, and they're already 12 points clear of us, aren't they? And we're still misfiring a little bit. And there is progress. I think there's progress watching us, but it's all about putting points on the board now, because you look at Doncaster Tuesday, they've not got a point away from home. Then you go to Accrington, you've got Shrewsbury, you've got Cambridge. If you've really got aspirations of climbing this table, you need to be putting wins on the board now, because I think we all said, look at the start we had Cheltenham, we had Morecambe, AFC Wimbledon. We really should. Well, we thought we were going to be getting a lot more points from them games, didn't we? So, but I think now you can't keep saying, yeah, it's still gelling, it's taking time, because before you know it, you played 15 games. And you need points.
You're 2 games away from that 10-game mark. You need to really play, see where you are after Accrington. And then I said to somebody today, it's 10 games, and then it's 15 games. You can't look at every single game, because you're going around in circles. Because that's the nature of this division. 12 points seems a lot, and it seems a lot. But trust me, we were flying high with Lambert with loads of points in the bank. We all thought, bloody hell, by November it'll be signed, sealed, delivered. Stevie wondered. Instead, what happened was we fell off. And before you know it, you can quickly fall off in this division. And because you're playing Saturday, bang, it happens so quickly.
2 sides of the same coin, isn't it? As Matt Stanhouse just said there. Look, next 3 games has to be 9 points. And that's quite doable. In Doncaster, Accrington, and then, was it Shrewsbury after that?
Yeah.
And very quickly you can climb the table.
Yeah.
But also, as you're saying, Mike, and you said, Rich, you looked at the start of the season, and a lot of people thought we'll get, 9, 12 points off the first 3-4 games, and it hasn't happened. So, Harry Hindsight, best football pundit in the world.
He is. What was going to point? It's completely evaporated out of my mind. So we'll get a few comments. Glenn Curtis, lots of years they managed to win. Glenn Curtis again. Tuesday, this is it. Convincing win, others I think it might be done. Tuesday, I think maybe you two can pick up on it. I think will actually be the true barometer of how yesterday is viewed. If you win Tuesday, suddenly 7 points is looking really good. It's been a great week. You've not lost since Lincoln. Great. If you get 5 points or less Tuesday, then yesterday was a bad 2 points dropped. Yeah, agreed. You're looking at the bigger picture the whole time of it, aren't you? Yeah, I think you got to. There's one game per snapshot. You'll be forever chasing the tail. Yeah, no, I do agree. We have got a run of games here where we can quickly climb the table, and that's the beauty of League One, isn't it, Rich? You are playing Tuesday, Saturday, and we might a week ago have been behind. Suddenly you've accelerated up 3, 4, 5.
Yeah. 3 wins. Table. 3 wins in a week, and you shoot right up, don't you? But then if you don't win in 3 in a week, it goes the other way, doesn't it? Yeah. It does. Yeah. I just hope Tuesday. Look, you said, Martin, the crowd were really good yesterday. I thought the away support was fantastic. It was lovely to have like a big following from a team. We get there Tuesday. Doncaster are only going to bring what? Probably 300, 400. You've got to be patient Tuesday, because you know what it'd be. I reckon it'd be quite edgy Tuesday. If you get 25, 30 minutes in, we're not playing well. I think the crowd will get a bit. They didn't yesterday. I think we just need to stick with them. And Mike Brown's there Tuesday, so he'll be negative anyway. Well,
absolutely. I'll be dropping a link very soon. Let's first have Burns' offside, and then we'll get Wednesday's goal, and we'll rejoin it after that. So this is the Burns offside chance. Offside for you? Not offside for you? Where are you both at it?
It looks a tight one.
It does look tight. Maybe just off. Maybe it was the right call. But I'm not giving the match officials too much kudos. Pissing me off, that guy. It all started with that free kick on the edge of the D, didn't it? That he didn't give. And it was just like crazy. What everyone gets annoyed about is you don't get the consistency at this level, do you?
No.
When you see the big tournaments, you World Cups, your Euros, everyone goes, oh, the officiating's been really good. And they've used VAR in a really good way. It's because they're really consistent with it and they're all top level. And these are good, these guys we see week in, week out in Football League, top-notch referees. I wouldn't be there otherwise. But for whatever reason, that level of consistency, it's just not there. And it's so frustrating.
There was 3 times, mate, in that first half. I thought, mate, he was trying to exchange shirts with Bon. He was literally trying to take his shirt off him.
Yeah, it was Iorfa and Hutchinson, wasn't it, with the 2? Yeah. It was poor, wasn't it? The two, debatable, weren't they? The free kicks that they eventually scored from, because there was one on your side, Mark, and then one over on mine, and eventually they scored off one of those balls. It's just frustrating when it's not consistent. Really is frustrating.
I did think that referee at times was just your classic referee, where he would allow teams to kick shit ass of each other. But if you took the free kick 5 yards too far either side, he was going to stop you.
I think 3 times, didn't he? 3 times he made it. It's like you're arguing over about 2 yards.
Are you that kind of referee?
What you say about consistency? We went to Lincoln last Saturday, Matt, and we were in the corner where the lino was. And right near the end of play, the lino let this Lincoln left back take a throw. I think I spoke to you on the way home. He was 10 yards up the pitch. And you're thinking, what are you doing?
Yeah.
It's just weird, isn't it?
Right, we've got the Wednesday goal. Here it is. It's a nice finish, but I think the goalkeeper's got to do better.
And Thierry Henry-esque, wasn't it? Like, he's put no power into that.
Did you say the goalkeeper's got to do better?
I think my position's all wrong.
This is the top corner.
No.
I'm not having that. I'm not having.
Did you hear, mate? Talking to goalkeepers, and I know the chat's getting really restless for this link. It's coming, I promise you. But talking to goalkeepers, did you hear the cruncher in training yesterday? The young lad on the pre-game show, where he said,
"What did he say? I only seen a little bit of it.
Haladki needs to get out of the club and get in the bin." And then he said, Ho should be number 1. He's the best keeper we've got, because you wouldn't lob him. And when the goal went in, I thought of him, and I thought he's spot on. Because I actually said to him on the show, "You're a cruncher in training, you. I love it, young guy, but big opinions, and you got to love it."
It was a good, like Richard. It was a good finish. It was on Ries, wasn't it? He's placed it rather than put any power. No power in that whatsoever, is it?
Just looped over, didn't it? Looped.
Yeah.
We don't do enough. It was a short free kick. We don't do enough to step up, and maybe that's a position where Morsey would be, where he's going to stamp that out and put his authority, because Tom Carroll gets lost a little bit, and then the guy just creeps in behind him. Right, Link is now in the
Sheffield Wednesday's kit.
No, fuck off.
I mean, I like that, because me and Richard big advocates of pink and black for town, weren't we, Rich?
I love a pink shirt, proper collar shirt, but not in a kit, not in a kit. Right, Link's down in the chat. We'll get 3 to 4 people on the show. So first 3 to 4 people in the chat or in the VIP area gets on. One thing that will never let you down, because you can go contactless now, is
Ipswich Buses, your local bus company serving your football team. Buses run every 10 minutes. Avoid the traffic. Don't get stuck in the delay. Get Ipswich Buses today. A single £1.20, a return only £2. Find out more information at www.ipswichbuses.co.uk. Ipswich Buses, proud to partner with Talking Town.
Disclaimer, if they do let you down, it ain't my fault. Right. Talking of traffic, did you see Portman Road yesterday?
Horrendous. I was talking to the boys going home, and I said, if we ever get in the Premier League, we're going to be marooned here for about 3 hours afterwards. We had 20,000. Well, what was it? 1,800 for Wednesday, so just under 20,000. And what was going on?
I think I left the car park up just after 6, 6:05. And got in just after 7, so it took me about an hour. But it was absolute scenes there, wasn't it?
Why they've closed off?
Both of them were stuck in the traffic. Both of them were stuck in it.
Yes, he was. Although Colin didn't go over this time and knock on his door, but since Colin's had that word with Haladki, He's played really well.
Yeah.
Colin is the goat at whispering into people's ears and making them perform better. He really is. But I was going to say, I don't know why the council have closed off Portman Road for. Like, why have you made it impossible? An impossible road network already more impossible. Like,
Make it even more difficult.
Because not only have they closed off Portman Road, they've closed off the road that would go from the road adjoining to Portman Road to the back of the cinema. Because what I would used to do is come out of the car park, turn left, come down the side of KFC, and you've missed out the traffic lights for the runway system.
Right,
you join it, and boom, you're on your way. You can't do that now. So, what are you doing? What are you doing? Anyway,
They're trying to travel by train if they're working, which they weren't from Essex yesterday.
go by Ipswich buses, my friends.
Exactly,
now available.
Yeah,
and you can enjoy a few Way Day beers. I had one last night actually. That was a poncho. I've changed my medication. It was a bit risky. It was going to go one way or the other.
I've got one I've not had yet in the fridge. The Paolo one.
It's a good one. That one. I've had that one.
It's 5% plus, I think. I'll have to rest myself on that one.
they are a lovely drop. I'll tell you what. I'll drop Josh's link in the chat if you want to go there. Head to waydaybeer.com and pick up yourself some beers because they are worthwhile. They really are. And I'll tell you a man who might need a few beers just to chill him the fuck out. It's the fisherman. I mean, the guy literally.
Hold on a minute.
Hang on. This man said to me this morning, I'm not coming on the show today. He said, I'm not coming on the show. And there he is.
Well, we've all said things, Crunch, about on shows and not happening that we all regret afterwards, don't we? So here he is.
Hello,
Mike, the fisherman, Brown. Mike, before you start, I want to tell you something. How many times do you see two big teams in the division, be it Wednesday, Ipswich, West Brom, Fulham in the Championship, or Chelsea, Man United in the Premier League? How many times do you see it actually end in a definitive result and not a draw?
Listen, you can't compare us to Chelsea and Man United. Let's be honest. Yeah,
I've just gone through the divisions. You could
I know,
have chosen West Brom, Fulham.
Yeah, but everybody's assuming that oh, these are two massive clubs. Yeah, we are. We are a massive club. 100% we are. I'm not saying Sheffield Wednesday isn't a big club, but at the end of the day, we should, if we're serious about. Look, my biggest issue about the fan base at the moment is they're accepting mediocrity. Now, why are we accepting mediocrity? We are.
How?
Why do you listen? If I'd have been away, I'd have been happy with a draw, right? I'd have been happy with that result. We're 1-0 down. We're away from home. Do you know what? Get a result away from home, absolutely, right? That to me is a good result. At home, losing 1-0 to a really good goal, regardless who should have closed him down or whatever. There's no way the keeper was getting that, right? The end of the day is, and we're sitting there struggling to put the ball in the back of the net, and it took a mistake by the keeper and a quick thinking by by our players to put the ball in the back of the net. And realistically, Mick Mills in that first half, I agree with him. I sat here and watched it on the telly, right? And I can tell you now, we were poor in that first half. We had a few flashes, but Christ alive. Flashes, the odd flash here and there isn't the best thing in the world. It's not going to win us games. It doesn't put points on our table, is it? We should be accepting mediocrity, and we shouldn't be accepting results a draw at home. Sheffield Wednesday are probably thinking, Joe,
get in the bin, Lee Anderson, the fucking idiot.
Leave me alone.
Crunch of grass.
Leave Lee alone. Leave him alone.
I went fishing on Twitter last night and I caught a few big ones. That was brilliant. That was hilarious. I was laughing my arse off. So anybody got a bit of abuse from me on Twitter last night, just ignore it. I was only having some banter with you. But no, on a serious note, I don't think we should be drawing at home against Sheffield Wednesday. I don't really think we should be drawing at home full stop. The reality
not how
is
football works.
No, Martin, on what planet?
This does not how football works,
I'm not having
it?
that. Not having that.
Like, Man United lost to Villa yesterday.
Take Evans' head off. Seriously, take Evans' head off. We should be winning games at home, or at least making an effort to win games at home. Yeah, making an effort to win games at home. That first half wasn't good enough.
Even me like,
and we only came alive. Only came alive when we bought Piggott on. That's when we really came alive, and that's when we really had a go at Sheffield Wednesday. I saw the whole match. So you can't tell. I don't care if you think I'm seeing something else than what you are. The end of the day is, it's now 1 win in 26. 5 wins in 26 under Cook. We go last year. Okay, we know that like Bishops have come out and said that they knew they were leaving and all that, so they weren't. They weren't never going to give 100%. Me and Cruncher spoke about that this morning. But look, for me, you win your home games and you get what you can when you're away. Okay. Right now, we're struggling to win. We ain't got a win this season at home.
So are you taking on that? Are you taking a draw at Accrington Stanley on Saturday then?
Accrington Stanley
at Accrington Stanley? No,
because Stanley have got to win. That's how football works. Isn't that the whole point of it? You score more goals than the opposition and get more points. So that's not what you're saying, though, is it? No, Martin, you're no good patronising me. 1-1. No, 1-1. No, I'm not having that. No, right, 1-1. Everybody starts with a point at the start of the game, yes? Everybody starts with a point. And if it ends up with a draw at the end of the game, each team has that point. The objective is to get 2 points off the opposition and by scoring more goals in the opposition. That's the objective of football. Right now, the end of the day is, if we want to win, if we want to get promoted out of this league and start taking the league by like we should by the horns, then we need to start winning games. Drawing at home with Sheffield Wednesday, getting a lucky win against Lincoln. That's not promotion, mate. That is. Hang on.
Why was it a lucky win at Lincoln? Why was it a lucky win at Lincoln? It was a 1-0 win. We kept it clean sheet on the road.
Sorry?
Why was that lucky at Lincoln?
Why was it?
Yeah.
Well, considering they had most of the possession in the second half, mate.
Did Kalaki have a save to make, Mike? No, he didn't.
No,
he didn't yesterday either.
But it was still we still got away with a couple. There was a couple of moments where I thought, oh shit.
Hang on, if you're going on that, we scored one more goal than they did.
A win is a win, and I took it, and I was happy about it.
All right, take a moment. Matt, yesterday's stats for you before you come back on and what Mike's been saying. 54% possession to Ipswich Town Football Club. We've had 10 shots to their 6, 5 on target to their 2 on target. You've heard Mike. You've heard the stats. You obviously saw the game yourself. Proceed, my brother.
I don't disagree with what Mike's saying in terms of you want to win home games, but you have to, look, Man United lost to Villa yesterday, Mike. It's just the nature of sport. It's the nature of football, isn't it? No 90 minutes is ever the same. Now, if you actually if you take the 4 points we've got over the 2 games and switch them round, so we actually got the 1-1 draw at Lincoln and then beat Sheffield Wednesday 1-0 yesterday, you'd probably really be happy, wouldn't you, with those 4 points?
We won a home game. We actually won a home game.
You still got the same return off the back of the 2 games.
It doesn't matter. Your home games are the most important thing. That's why teams stay in the Premier League, by winning their home games. Fact.
I don't disagree, but also
years of statistics, backed years of facts.
I do agree with
Mike, mate. Came down from the Championship. Rich, we're playing a team that came down from the Championship. They would still be a Championship team if they've not lost 12 points.
I do know what Mike's saying, because if you want your promotion form, you do get it in your home games. I do agree with you there. But yesterday we were losing.
September.
Yeah, but yesterday. What did you just say?
So what?
It's September.
September. You were sacking the manager 3 games ago, so you need to calm down as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Well done.
There's difference between sacking a manager because you've been bad run of form than is complaining that you've not won at home yet. Like, we've only had September, so it's not even in November yet. If we played 15 home games, all right, maybe this is now getting ridiculous. But you had a great home run on the Magilton, didn't go up. It's about your overall body of work. 46-game season, you now maybe have turned a corner. The fact that I did want the manager sacked and I'm now sitting here saying this should be a testament to how well I think we played yesterday. But I'm saying it could be very easy for me to say, like Mike is, it was shit. Absolutely, yeah.
I never said that, Martin. I never said that.
You didn't say it was good
either. Words into my mouth. I never said they were shit. I said we should be winning our home games. There's a big difference between a shit performance and not winning our home games.
Well, you said mediocre, didn't you? You said it was
mediocre. It was mediocre. We should be winning our home games. If we're serious about promotion.
You can't win every game. And if you're saying it's a mediocre performance, we've taken a point from a mediocre performance. So that's good.
Yeah, okay. You could switch that around and say that. But the reality is we're talking facts. Right now, we're 4th from
I just
bottom
like
in the
winding him up.
relegation zone.
Yeah, that's
Right,
true.
and people can sit there and say, "Oh, you know, well, we're improving. We are fourth from bottom." Yeah,
I was gonna reel you in a minute, son. I was gonna reel
we're
you. Tell
fourth
you
from
what.
bottom, aren't we? Yeah, and that's the reality of where we are.
I do think we're seeing green shoots, though. I think we're seeing the foundations now to unbeaten. Certainly, I would agree that the early form of the season, Mike, in August was mediocre. I'd certainly agree with you there. But Doncaster's going to be must win on Tuesday, isn't it? I agree with that. That is
Did
a
you say
game.
green shoots? Did you say green shoots? Because that's a
Yeah,
code
yeah,
word
I know.
for.
And
Sneak
work.
away.
Here it is.
Charlie Pissler, there it is.
Mike, my man, Mike. How you doing, Mike?
Hello,
How you doing,
geezer.
man?
How you doing? All right?
I'm all right. Listen, right.
Yeah, go on.
We'll have some green sheets on Tuesday. You'll be cool, right? But listen, till then, right. Let me ask you a question. Just a quick couple of answers, right?
Yeah.
So you're upset at the moment or annoyed at the moment because of the losses, right? And it's not necessarily the manner of the performance in terms of the performance on the pitch. It's the fact we haven't got wins. We ain't got points at home. That's what you're saying, and that translates into our position in the league, right?
Yeah.
So last year when we beat Gillingham at home and Bristol and all those, and we were top of the league, were you celebrating the league like we'd won?
No.
Right. So why are you thinking that we're now in this position where, okay, it's eight. It's not. Is this our 8th league game? It'll be 9th because we had Wickham cancelled. So it'll be our 9th, and our 10th is against Aki. There's been improvements there. You know how the season goes up and down. For 2 consistent years in League One, we've run away with it at the beginning, and then we've ended 10th and 11th or 11th and 10th. So, you know, there's, like I said to you earlier, there's 100 odd points up to play for. I'm not saying we're going to get them all, but like Matt and the Glad said yesterday, 2 points a game, you're there or thereabouts. There has been so much improvement on the pitch. And I've started seeing it more as a glass half full type of guy. You get it? But yesterday was a game we would have walked away with a loss. Yesterday was a game normally that we would lose because we had all the chances. When Bond missed that one-on-one in about 15 minutes, it was like, shit, I hope this isn't a sign. And we were talking about the lino earlier. The lino was blind. But yeah, but I'm
Sorry,
saying,
I thought I lost my connection.
Oh no. But like even the referee decisions were going against us to a point, right? So you thought, shit, is it? And then we're having the chances. You guys just read the stats out there as well. We all saw the game. And then we got the point. And okay, it was from something crafty. It wasn't something we created from the back and had a nice build-up play. But sometimes, it's football. You have to get those things. And it reminded me of one of our seasons when Joe Royal was our manager and we ended up losing in the playoff to West Ham. But in that season, I think I want to say it was Warsaw we played, and we'd been shit all game. They were winning 1-0, and then we nicked a winner, ball through from Miller to Darren Bent, and he chips the keeper, right? And that was like a 91st minute or whatever. And Royal talked about that at the point, saying, look, these are the points that you pick up because you're not losing. It builds momentum. Cook's talked about it now, about building momentum. He said before about people are going to come here and play dirty. Reality is Sheffield Wednesday are a good team. We made them look poor yesterday. I thought Elmiz did a great job on Bannon. Defense did really well, right? Weakest part for our defense was Matt Penny, right? But it wasn't a performance where we talked about it on the previous, like throughout the season, where we said we're missing the bite in midfield or the defense has been lacking. We've got that right. It was one of the ones actually where our attacking flair wasn't right, and that's okay. That's one game against a promotion rival that I look at it as we've taken 2 points off them. Do you know what I mean? So these are all 6-pointer games. It's a long game. My point being is it's a long season. It's a game. You just got to, there has definitely been improvements. We will beat Doncaster. We will beat Accrington or draw or whatever, but we're going to start going on this kind of, we're not going to lose many more. I honestly don't feel we'll lose many more. I'm seeing more and more game management now, whereas before in the earlier days, people were panicking and trying to do individual.
Put Lee Anderson's comment up.
So where's going, Callie, at maybe those sort of points that keeps us up?
Nonsense.
He's on a wind up here. He's on a wind
up. But this is the point. But this is what our fan base is about. No, but everyone, this is what our fan base is always like to be split. We always like to moan about something. It's Ipswich Town, right? I think it's a Suffolk thing. I'm sorry, but you guys moan about every fucking thing, right?
Yeah, I do agree. Yeah.
If we're not happy, it's something to moan. No, listen, sometimes you just got to, But and I'm seeing that there. It's like, okay, the season's not won in September. We all know that. It's not one in October, November, right? You got to build it up. And as most of us saw the whole season last year anyway through iFollow, right? So it is night and day from last season, and it is night and day from the last couple of years. And it's that game management. We look a proper team now, and I honestly think we're going up, and I think we're going. Oh, listen! If you want to call me a happy clapper, do that. I'm happy to do that, right?
Callie, I've got a question. I've got a question for you. Hang on, I've got a question for Callie. So Mike was watching the game at home, right, yesterday. There was no negativity in the stadium, was there? I didn't hear anything yesterday.
No, nothing at all. There's a few shit towards the lino and the ref and that, but there was no negativity behind the team. The one thing I will say, I know you guys talk about the atmosphere. I still think it's a bit flat, right? I'm not impressed with the atmosphere at Portman Road. Blue Action do a great thing, and there's sections of the North Stand and sections in other stands where they start singing. But we put more energy into jeering the referee or something like that than we will singing behind someone. Like, I don't want it, like, do you know, towards, if you listen to the highlights as well, and like some people have put their videos up on Twitter or whatever, just before Bond nicks that goal from the keeper, they're trying to like get a fucking like jeering the goalkeeper instead of trying to get behind the team. And it's that kind of shit that you need to be a 12th man. Like we pick and choose to sing at the wrong times and do the wrong things. But I don't know. That's my own thing. I am quite critical of the atmosphere. But I don't know. I think I think we're going right. We're going in the right place. That's the point I'm trying to make to Mike. Like, don't panic, bro.
No, I take on board what you said to a point. We talk about game management. Yes, yesterday's choice of putting Selena in that number 10 role when we had Fraser out on the left, it looked poor. Selena looked.
What if I told you? Sorry to interrupt. What if I told you that Selena's not 100% fit and he's in and he can only do a certain amount?
Don't play him. Simple as.
No, but he still makes things happen in the 10 for 60 minutes.
You don't run a horse if it's got an injured leg, do you? Or it's got a slight knock on its leg. The end of the day is Selena should be playing as number 10 if we've got a natural number 10 in Fraser. It doesn't make sense. We talk about in-game management, but
see, I get what you're saying, because
winning or losing the game.
I said it before as well. I kind of agree with you on Fraser before, but then Lincoln last week, he played on the left, and that was one of his best games he played for us. He looked quality last week, and he was out on the left. And Cook took very much, and he said himself, I'm taking very much, I want to take the approach where I want to keep the same team. I've got to change it around. The biggest shock was the Elmiz thing, but that worked out a treat. No one's here talking about Elmiz had a bad game. It's actually, in fact, I remember when he made that great foul, he took 2 players out for 1. That was brilliant. But, he was solid. It gave us a fight.
It surprised me because I was like probably a lot of the fan base. Whoa, why is
the thing we lacked yesterday, Mike? The thing that we lacked yesterday, Mike, is the thing we've got abundance of and have proved it, which is creativity and scoring goals. We've been scoring goals. This is a one game that we've had a bit of a struggle against the title contender, right? And we've come out with a point, unbeaten, right? It's a positive, man. That makes me happy, clapper, whatever, so be it. But
no. It's a different though. Look. We've got to still keep it fairly real here. Look, we didn't lose the game. Okay, just take the positive on that. We didn't lose the game, but really we should be winning home games if we are serious about promotion.
Okay, so if we get FA Cup draw again,
home games is where we win games.
Are you both going to be there Tuesday?
Yeah, I am. Yeah.
I need to find out if I can move this meeting
Bring in my
Tuesday
brother
because otherwise it's going to be late.
Okay. Well, I'll see you both Tuesday, hopefully for 3 points, and then we can pick it up again after Tuesday in terms of where we think we both are. You both made some really good points. You really, truly have, as always.
Great banter, boys.
Yeah.
Mike,
you know I love you, Mike.
Mike, go and play with your Lego.
Go and play with your Lego.
Yeah, I fucking love Lego.
Look after yourself, boys. Look after yourselves. Thank you very much, Callie and Mike. We've got a few comments. Matt Stanhope didn't take our chance yesterday, and the one I thought Bond would score, he waited a half a second, let the defender get back. Gary Denny, at least we created clear chances, but the finishing let us down yesterday. A couple more had gone in. We'll be singing the team's praises. And Rabbit Man, skip intro. I'm not a betting man. That's a mugs game. I love Ipswich, but have to wake up and smell the coffee. Right, we're going to just park that and come back to it again very shortly because there's still Eldriz El Mazzani to speak about. There's still the back four to speak about. So let's just go quickly let's go to our goats as a little bit of a palate cleanser, if you like. What is our goats this week, gentlemen? I can see people waiting. I will try and get you on as we go back to the town talk if I can. If I can't, of course, there is tomorrow night's Monday night show, which promises to be a bumper edition. What's our goats this week? Rich, you can go first.
Right, so I don't know if everyone remembers a while back on here. Matt remembers. So Ollie Robinson, historic tweets. You know, the cricketer, and he got a game ban. I think he got 3 games suspended. So this week, so I listened to the Hard Truth podcast with Darren McCann. He's been on this for a while. So Johnson Clark Harris, he's got a 4-game ban for historic tweets when he was 18, which was 9 years ago. And actually, he was a Peterborough United player then. So this has come to light. They've actually appealed it, and they found out 3 p.m. on Friday they could play him on Friday night's game at Coventry.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he played. So they're not sure when the appeal's going to be. So he's got to have a face-to-face education program. I've not got a problem with stuff like that, you know. Fair enough.
No.
But where does it stop? Where's the line drawn? You know, trawling back through people's social media. I'm not saying what he said is right.
What did he say? Do we know what he said?
He was on about people's sexual orientation and stuff like that. Right. But 9 years ago.
He was 18.
So where do you draw the line? I just think you're going down a very dangerous path with this. Because everybody's surely got something that they've tweeted or said or a long time ago that they probably look back now and think, yeah, probably shouldn't have said that. But come on.
How old is he?
He's 27 now. So this was 9 years ago.
So he is of the generation where it was all brand new. This is not really a defense or an excuse, but it was all brand new. You'd never had it before. You didn't really know how to use it. Didn't know the ramifications of it. Whereas I think today's kids, you know, like the young guys on the show yesterday, obviously, I don't know how old he is, but he's a young gentleman, obviously going to either secondary school or primary school, whatever. But he's growing up with it. He can see the ramifications of what he says and how he says it and in future years. Whereas perhaps when Clark Harris did these tweets or whatever it was on Bieber or wherever it was, you didn't understand what the ramifications were long term because it was all brand new technology. So it's one of those, you know, he just needs guidance, education, things like that. That's what I would say.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I would say it's only in recent years, probably the last 6 years, that the FA have actually been treating social media as something that you could fine players for or suspend players over. So, I mean, yeah, you're exactly right, Mike, because, you know, that platform has grown over the last few years. I mean, and to go back on when he was a teenager, I mean, bloody hell, we're all different from now to where we were when we was all 18 years old. It's just nonsense from the FA, really. A line's got to be drawn somewhere. But we see all this nonsense on Twitter all the time, don't we? Look what we had this week, mine. You was asked to declare your taxes by somebody on Twitter. I mean, it's just people just using platforms in the wrong way, isn't it? But
yeah, well, I saw somebody this morning. Don't call the referee a dick. How would you like it if you get abuse every day? I said, I do get abuse every single day for doing a hobby. I get abuse every single day.
Well, you couldn't even get that young lad who's coming in to help with social media, talking down social media. So he's got something on his CV as a young journalist without people commenting on it negatively.
Oh, at 8:05 on a Saturday morning, don't forget, you know, threads being created on certain forums. 8:05. Tell you what, 8:05 on a Saturday morning, I'm doing one of 3 things. It involves shit, shower, or a shampoo. Like, I ain't talking about someone else. I'm not getting an aubergine over somebody else. Do you know what I mean? So
I know people just use. I mean, social media is still a funny one. People are using it in the wrong way. I get with Rich what Rich is saying. I don't get why any individual would go back on historical tweets to try and put someone in the shit for whatever reason.
No, if it's historical, I think it's training. Forget game time; it's just training. And unless it's something really, I mean, I don't know. Sexual orientation, it's a tricky area, isn't it? And you do need to have.
Yeah, I'm pretty certain he hasn't posted anything similar in that decade that's gone past. And if they do go to every club pre-season, and tell them, how you should be using social media. Like,
Absolutely. Curtis Yates, to be fair, it's only right the Gov declares his taxes. That McLaren doesn't come cheap on his driveway. No, the Ferrari, the McLaren, the Jumbo Jet.
No one knows where he lives. So how are we going to know there's a McLaren in the driveway? You could have 5 of them for all we know.
On the cricket one, Rich, people seem to have seen sense now with Ollie Robinson, haven't they? Because he was back in the fold for those India Test matches, wasn't he?
Yeah, but then when they were digging after that, it was that was a funny one, Matt, because obviously who's not done their due diligence anyway on him, because he's got selected for his country. Surely someone knew about that before. Are they sitting on that? Are they sitting on something that and waiting until he's been called in?
Who knows?
It's not people are weird. To light now, is it?
People are weird on social. We've seen it this week. People are weird.
Yeah, it's normally when they're feeling really bad about themselves. Like we're not. In some case, you look a bit into their timeline, you can see certain things that they may perhaps tweet or message about, and you can say, okay, that's why you're feeling like shit. That's why you're then taking your frustrations out on somebody else. It doesn't make it right, not at all. The difference is between me and some people, I don't give it back. I do not give it back. I'm not going to say who, but I do not give it back.
It's quite surprised people listening and watching. But we get more flack off Ipswich fans as Talking Town than we do Norwich City ones.
Only 5 fans. Only 5.
Well,
we count the 5 on the one hand.
We had a little bit in the week when Matt posted up the video, didn't we?
Yeah, it was all good. But yeah, I mean, some of them lost their sense of humour a little bit, and some thought it was funny. But I don't know. At the end of the day, with social media, I think what Mike Tyson said, people are getting away with saying stuff on social media, which would, if you said it in face to face, you'd get a punch in the mouth. We've
been at every single home game. Nobody has come anywhere near us. No bears, no rats, no nothing have come anywhere near us. But I'm there. I'm visible. I've got a camera. I've got a tripod. I've got a stick. Like walking stick.
It helps not Big Dave standing with us as well.
Stuart Darnell, the boxer. That information. He ain't leaving my side.
Did we know that he breeds tarantulas? That was he said to Archie yesterday, he said they're just like hamsters, he said, but they've got 8 legs.
Not for me, as someone might say.
What's your goat then, Matthew?
Well, my goat is one that's been floating around for a while, actually. It's Guardiola's Manchester City, young Manchester City team with a smattering of Foden, De Bruyne and Sterling, actually gave Wycombe Wanderers a good shoe-in, 6-1, with their youth team. But it was his comments after the game where he said, it's really frustrating for me as a manager, top-flight manager, playing in the Champions League, Premier League against good sides. I can't really blood these youngsters anywhere else. Therefore, I feel like my young teams, my reserve team, should be able to play in the Football League as an under-23 team. And it just makes my blood boil, that, right? Because I know that's a big thing, right, in Europe. So Bayern Munich 2 play in the 3rd tier of the Bundesliga, okay? Real Sociedad B got promoted to the 2nd tier of the Spanish football. Would you believe that reserve team of Real Sociedad is now in a higher tier of football than Deportivo La Coruña? And you remember them probably going back a decade.
Deco.
When exactly. And they got to a Champions League semi. And then they're like us, they've plummeted down, and now a B team is higher than them. But it just makes my blood boil because that's a big thing in their culture, right? I get that. But English football, the heritage of EFL is not to support the top 6-7 Premier League teams so their youngsters can get match experience. We've got a whole competition going on with teams that have been around since the 1800s. We don't want your B teams clogging up our divisions. Thank you very much.
Does Pep remember, though, that not that long ago, Man City were in the 3rd tier?
Pep doesn't know that about Man City.
And they float these ideas, Rich, and then they'll go. Pep will probably end up back at Barcelona very soon, I should imagine. And it will be, and then whatever they've put in as a pathway will be actioned by the Premier League or wherever it might be, and we're stuck with it. And it annoys me.
But I bet you any money you like, by the time we're Colin's age, there'll be a B team in the Football League because look how we reacted as fans, not as fans, but as football clubs and competition to the Big Six trying to force their way out. That's all been brushed under the carpet. Have a few more parachute payments or whatever. We're sorry, we won't do it again. Same will happen here. Look how they got their B teams into the St Johnstone Paint Trophy.
Well, that's exactly what it was. I mean, when Greg Dyke was FA chairman, he was really pushing that because he said young English players aren't getting enough opportunity. Young English players, by the way. Pep's talking about foreign players in that 20 phrase. But for the EFL Trophy, it was the giving youngsters a chance from English youngsters a chance, and that's why you see those under 21 teams in the EFL Trophy. It's to me, it kind of devalues that competition a little bit, but.
I've got no idea why anybody from League 2, League 1 below wants to do that competition when you've got smaller squads to historically, 46 game seasons, Carabao Cup, FA Cup. Why do you want 4 more games?
I know,
minimum?
it makes no sense, does it? It makes no sense.
Because
But then
No one goes to it, do they? No one goes
But then
to it.
that goes back to Pep going to Barcelona, and then we go back to the Super League. And I was reading an article in the week. They're just an absolute shit show, Barcelona. So you know why they wanted because they can't afford now. They can't afford to sack Koeman. They're in so much trouble.
Yeah,
Real Madrid and Barcelona, it's over €1 billion of combined debt. When you see why they wanted to follow the money train. But it's just this, this is the issue. I like having Guardiola in the Premier League. I think he's a great guy, and I loved him at Barcelona. He was really good at Bayern Munich as well. But that's not the culture that they're suggesting. Is not our culture. The EFL stands alone as 3 divisions, and we've got our own competitions. The teams have got their own culture and heritage, their own rivalries. They don't want to be sitting bloody Liverpool under 23s against Cheltenham for crying out loud. They don't want that. No one wants that.
No, Adrak. I think Adrak's got a right point here. These clubs should not be buying up all the young talent and then.
Well, exactly. They're holding. We saw it. They did it with Ipswich with Ben Knight.
Ben Knight, Man City. The Brown lad went to Chelsea. You see it all the time, and and
they turn heads with with those moves because they come in and get Ben Knight. They put him and his siblings through private school. They probably get them a house. It's a different world, isn't it? The whole world. It just seems like Guardiola wants his cake and eat it. Everything is designed for the top 6, and now so we can give our youngsters from all across the world some experience. We'd like them to be in the Football League. No, piss off.
Well, look at this Category 1 crap. Look at this whole category. That was designed to again safeguard the top teams, so they can get the better talent and all of that sort of stuff.
Elite player performance plan. It used to be that you could only join a team that was within about 45 minutes commute of your house, which of course would have meant Ben Knight couldn't have gone to Manchester City, but they changed it up.
Absolutely. We've got Fisherman Money, Matt, all about the money. My goat is a little bit still. So I'm going to go with Matt Stannard's goat because I ordered a town shirt for our competition winner, and it still hasn't arrived.
They said September. They said September, didn't they?
Yeah, ordering out for September. I didn't think it'd be September the 26th before I get an email saying it could be shipped. It's like, come on, this poor chap, it makes me look bad because this poor chap, I'm telling him, right, I've ordered it. It says order now for September, so it should be here first week of September.
Yeah.
Where the fuck is it?
Can you go into the store and just buy a shirt off the?
No. Right. Not got them in yet. We're still waiting for
you can get in the shop yesterday, couldn't they? Shut the door on their biggest customer.
They locked me out. I'm going to have to go in there on Tuesday.
Oh, well, there you go.
Right. Johnny's hat yesterday. He had a Stone Roses hat on. I was loving that.
I love Johnny.
He's
a legend. One of the first ones to be along for the journey. I got a round of applause when I finished the show yesterday.
You did. There was polite ripples, wasn't there?
I was like, I said to the wife this morning, I didn't know what to do.
Ben Moore had a good day in the Premier League fantasy team yesterday. He got 61 points. I think he's now on about minus 240.
I can't work out where he's on their minuses. I can't work out.
Ben Fantasy King Moore. Right, back to the town game. El Idris El Muzani, Muzuni. I can't pronounce John Smith, so this name is ridiculous.
Muzuni, isn't it? Muzuni.
Idris El Miz.
Yeah.
How do we think he played? Because there was a few eyebrows raised when he was selected. So what do we make of his?
Rich was speechless when he saw this team news come through.
We were driving in, and Archie was like, "Oh, the team news coming out," and then I could not believe it when his name was in there. But saying that, I thought he had a bit of a slow start getting in the game. Then the first 10, 15. After that, I thought he was excellent. To come in a game like that, a big atmosphere. He's playing against Barry Bannon. He's an international footballer. I thought he had a really good game. I thought he got his foot in. It's like Callie said when he was on. He had that one where he took 2 players out, didn't he?
Yeah.
I thought going forward. And
do you think it was
a shame,
isn't it?
Because he's not going to play Tuesday. I'd be very surprised if he's in Tuesdays.
Well, that's what I was going to say, Rich. Do you think it was a stopgap selection? So everyone's probably wasn't 100% fit. You don't want to put someone in there that might keep Morsey out of the side and keep him on the bench for Tuesday. Do you think he was just dropped in there in order because Wolsey wasn't available, and then Wolsey comes back Tuesday and will be captain.
Well, I did say to Martin in the pre-game show, it smacked then of a Liam Gibbs selection when he played against Charlton that time.
yeah.
But he played much better than
I
Liam
thought he
Gibbs.
took his chance with both hands, and now he says to the manager, right, I've played well. You can trust me if you need me again. But it is like, where is he going to fit in? Because he's going to have Morsey will probably play in with Carroll.
And he's a 10, really.
Evans, you've got Harper.
He's a 10, really, isn't he, Liz? It suited him. We said before the game it might suit him. There was not going to be much physicality in the middle there with Bannon, I didn't think. We thought they'd put in a lot of crosses, so the attacking threat and most of the attacking play would be down the flank. So maybe it suited just to put him in there. But he done well. He done well. I was really pleased for him.
I think what a lot of people. Hi Siri. I think what a lot of people said when we were signing players in the summer, Carroll, Harper, etc., about where will these young players sort of get a chance. I think yesterday kind of it backed those people's points up because Idris played really well, and I would have no hesitations about playing him again and giving him an extended run in the team. But as you've both expertly highlighted, you've got Morsey, then you've got Carroll, who's come into the team and played fairly well. Then you've got Harper, Evans. That's 4 senior players ahead of him. You're not getting the pathway for the younger players, which is what some people in the summer were worried about. And he's ready, I think, for League One, possibly top of the League Two, extended action. And we need to get him out on loan in the January window ASAP because he needs to be playing week in, week out, developing because we've got a player there, I think. He was really good. He grew into the game. And the more the game went on and the more touches he had and the more confidence he got, the better he believes in himself. Because at the start, for 15, 20 minutes, you could see he was a young lad, not quite sure himself what he was doing out here.
Well, get him down Colchester then with everyone else.
Well, get him somewhere. But this is a player that should be off the bench for me.
He's shown willingness to go. He's shown willingness to go on loan, hasn't he? He's been Cambridge, he's been Grimsby. He's not one of these players who just sat back and thought, I'll stay within the comfort zone of the training ground.
Where is the pathway? Where is the pathway for him now at Town? Because if we do what we hope and get out of this league this season and we go into the Championship, you're probably going to. There'll be a few signings coming in, and I think they just get lost in the shuffle, don't they? These youngsters.
Yeah.
Look at that. Look, £20 for a fucking haircut. I think wait, stay still. Look at that. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. That's my receipt. I go.
Yeah, that's annoying me now. I can see that. Yeah,
he's annoying me. I just seen it. I was like, oh god, that's like Officer Dewey.
What do you think of Tom Carroll, Martin, yesterday?
If we're rating our midfielders, Morsey's number one. I haven't seen him yet, but from what we've heard and what we know about him, and then it goes Evans, Harper, Elmiz, and Carroll, all the same. I think Carroll is he's meh. He's okay.
It feels like he's just below the bar. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a weird one, that, isn't it? Because you've got to think Morsey and Evans is going to be the two. I would have thought because they've got partnerships already, haven't they?
Yes. I did when we were a goal down, I think maybe 60 minutes, and I looked at Cook and I was saying I was willing him, literally trying to will the universe into him making a change.
Yeah, I was doing
when that wasn't going to happen. I turned and I said, right, Carroll, you're a Premier League player or used to be. You've got to make something happen in this game because it's not working.
Tidy, isn't he? He's a tidy player, I'd say.
Technical. He's technical and tidy.
Technical. He keeps the play moving. He's one of them ones you probably like at Lincoln last Saturday. He didn't really stand out. He done his job, and he's a 6 out of 10.
Martin likes those players. You like consistent 6 out of 10s, don't you?
I am a little bit like Mick McCarthy in that respect. Yeah, they do allow your Salinas to have their dips and peaks because they're Mr. Steady Eddies.
Interesting question for both of you. I was speaking to Hops this morning when you just brought Mick's name up. Would Mick get more out of this squad than Cook is at the minute?
Would he fuck? No. Mick McCarthy would have had Selena on the bench yesterday. He would have had Fraser on. We would have gone with a 4-5-1. Wednesday are much better than what they've recently shown. A point's is a great result from the get-go.
Mick lost 5-1 yesterday, didn't he?
Yeah,
did he?
He's under pressure there.
Yeah,
good.
I think he might have made this a little bit more difficult to beat in those early August games, potentially. But I mean, look, within what a couple of weeks, we've gone from conceding 5 against Bolton to actually looking like a good defensive unit yesterday.
Mhm.
with the two centre halves, Edmondson and Burgess, because they looked like they were two strangers in that Bolton game. And now you're seeing the fruits of them playing together, which is why we said they should have played in that West Ham game, just to keep building that momentum of a partnership. But it's coming good. And, hopefully it will progress on Tuesday against Doncaster.
Well, hopefully so. I've got two people waiting. I'm not going to get a chance to put both on. One's the cruncher in training, and one is the GOAT. This is a real tough situation.
Will.
Is his name Will, is it?
Yeah.
Who do I put on? This is like...
Will. Put Will on. You can have Colin tomorrow. In his
There you
dressing
go,
gown.
Colin.
Colin would say, give the young lad a go. I know Colin. He'd say, give the young lad a go.
All right, here he is. Cruncher in training. Will, welcome in. How are you?
How you doing?
I'm
How you doing?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
Good. Yeah, good,
I've got to have a
thanks.
word with you. I've got to have a word with you. Are you saying Holy is better than Halaki?
After yesterday, I think I might take that statement back.
Yes.
Well, what do you like? What do you like about Holy then? What did you see in Holy that you've not seen in Ladke up to yesterday?
Well, I just thought Halaki hadn't been the best in his best recently before that game, but now that I've actually seen him play well, I think he might be better than Holy now.
Okay. Yeah, fair enough. Ladke hasn't been that great, has he? It's only since since Walton got injured and come back that we started seeing him actually putting some performances together. So you're probably right. Yeah.
What do you reckon, Will, moving forward? Halaki or Walton?
Halaki.
Oh, yesterday it was a Ladke get out of football club. Will, you're not a cruncher in training because you can change your mind. Cruncher doubles down on bad opinions, so you're doing much better than he normally does.
I feel like Walton needs another go though, because we've only, first impressions, we've seen him picking the ball out of the net 5 times. So I feel like he needs to get that from off his back as well. You know what I mean?
It's a hard one now. I think that's a really hard one for Cook because he's obviously brought Walton in because he trusts him because he had him with him at Wigan, but now he's got injured. I like he's had 2 good games. Hopefully he'll play again on Tuesday. Has another good game, and it's a tough one.
Will, are you in the fantasy football league that we're running?
I don't think so.
Well, you don't worry. You'll still be better.
Don't worry, Will. If you enter now, you'll still have more points than Ben Moore. So get in it.
You won't finish bottom.
No, you certainly won't. No, I think Ben's got that all sewn up. I'll get a little wooden spoon. Put on my list of things to do this week.
You going Tuesday, Will? You going to be at the game Tuesday?
Don't think so. I've got school.
Oh, okay. All right. You can stream it. You can still stream it for a tenner. Get your mum and dad to give you a tenner. You can stream it midweek.
Absolutely. Yeah. How do you think we'll do Tuesday as we round up today's show?
I reckon we've got to win this. I'll probably go 2-0.
Nice.
I like it. And who had man the match for you yesterday? I didn't put Macaulay Bond. The group of us, as a majority vote, put Macaulay Bond.
I did.
Mostly Matt Phillips.
Did you vote?
I did. Yeah.
You didn't ask me who my man of the match was.
Genius thinking from yesterday.
I wasn't even involved. What was it? You, Ben, and Matt? Was that it?
No, I sent the text on WhatsApp to all of the contributors. I sent it to
Didn't
you.
get any.
You replied.
Didn't get one. Left me out.
You were too busy. You were too busy knocking on the window of Planet Blue, going, "Let me in! I do 10 grand a year in here."
Well, it's like Michael Finch says. I could always go to the dark side with Alex Griffin, couldn't I? Really.
That was good. That's a good one to watch back. Griff's match day experience blog yesterday. That was good. I enjoyed that one.
That was quite good. Yeah. But who was your man of the match yesterday, Will?
I probably think Haladki or Chaplin. Because Chaplin did well for the 10 minutes he was on. And Haladki was good at, he just looked a bit better than he has in most of the other games.
Yeah, absolutely.
Nice.
Will, pleasure talking to you again. Look after yourself. Have a great Sunday. All the best, man. Thank you, mate. I'm desperately scrolling back through my WhatsApp messages to try and see where I sent it to you. I'm sure I did. If not, I sent it to everybody else, Vicky.
It's nice. It's nice to see young supporters getting behind Hadke, isn't it? Because he come with a fanfare and then he's gone right down in our estimations. Message Callie.
Ben Moore did the player ratings. I think Ben Moore should do it every week because he gets the most amount of nibbles. Because people have been nibbling on that for hours about how he's.
What did you give Penny, Ben? 4, wasn't it?
It was a 4. I agree with him, but we'll pick that up on tomorrow's show. Yeah. Kev, afternoon, lads. Hope you're all well. Great show, very enjoyable. Thank you very much, Kev. It's a real pleasure to do a show for you on a Sunday afternoon. We think we have to leave the crunching tackle and the media moguls. It's an hour and 20 already. I know. We'll do it.
Come on. Mine's only a short one. Mine's only a short
Well,
one.
I've heard that about you. I have heard that. I've heard that about you.
Well, you got right. So Matt got talking about Pep, right? Pep, top manager, right? So what do these three managers have in common? Jurgen Klopp, Pep Guardiola, Thomas Tuchel.
None have managed Ipswich Town.
No. All top coaches have won the Champions League. And then yesterday, Man United lose at home to Villa. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, he's been there since 2018. If he was not a Man United legend, would he still be managing the club?
No, but I think with Cristiano Ronaldo being there, I think he won't be managing the football club come December.
You reckon?
Well, expectations now are here, and his performance is consistently here.
They are second, though, aren't they, in the table? Are they second or third?
I don't know.
They ain't doing too bad.
But he's been there since 2018, Matt, and he's got 0 trophies.
Yeah. Transition is difficult after them Fergie years. No one's lasted that long, have they? At Old Trafford.
Well, I do get that. Minus ratings. Yeah, I don't think Solskjaer's up for the job. When he comes to it, he got Mulder, didn't he? Then he went to Cardiff. You know, it's just... He's a really nice guy. I like Ollie how he comes across. I just don't think for a club the size of Man United, but then you could flip it and say, well, they had Jose Mourinho. They had Louis van Gaal. They didn't really work
look
out.
Look who replaced Fergie. David Moyes. Now, he would never have gone to Real Madrid or Juventus or Barcelona, would he?
He was on a loser to start with Moisey when he came in, wasn't he? Because whoever's following in Fergie's footsteps, you think you've got no chance. But I just think they need someone with a better CV than him. But Man United won't. Will they win anything this season? Probably. They've already gone out the Carabao Cup. That's another thing. I'm thinking with Pep, that he's a serial winner because you look how many Carabao Cups he's won. And I know people say it's only the League Cup. Solskjaer needs a trophy at this time, and they've got knocked out to West Ham.
Yeah.
You know, and now they're all their eggs
lost to young boys.
Yeah. In the what's the stadium called?
Lunchtime show days. Come on.
But it's like now all his eggs are in. Well, you've got the FA Cup, but Man United are not going to win the league title, are they?
But they need to be because you got Jadon Sancho at 80 odd million.
He's another one who's not in the ground running, has he? Sancho since he signed.
So he's under the same sort of pressure as Paul Cook is in the sense of you built this squad full of good players. Are you getting the most out of it, or could somebody else? What I want to ask you very quickly, and the chat really is: have you in your lifetime ever seen a manager do such a reclamation project on his own reputation and outlook as David Moyes? Has any manager in your lifetime ever done a David Moyes and taken over a football club? Everyone wants him out, dead man walking, not playing well, and then built something just like overnight to the point where now he's like sort of untouchable at West Ham.
Yeah. Well, West Ham fans did not want him, did they?
No. And they were playing terrible football.
Yeah.
And then suddenly, look at them now, night and day.
It wasn't happy club, was it, there? Because they wanted Gold, Sullivan and Brady out. That seems to have all gone quiet. They obviously moved to the Olympic Stadium. That was another real thing that they didn't want.
Soulless bowl.
It's weird, isn't it? When your football team's doing well and winning games, that all sort of disappears into the background.
But have you ever seen that with a manager where he's, fouled at a big club, fouled at another club, fouled at the club, then been sacked, then come back, and then suddenly now look at it. I mean, I've never seen that in my 31 years.
Yeah. It's very unusual, isn't it? Very unusual.
He's done a marvellous job there.
The fickle game of football. I mean, look at Farker's probably gonna get the elbow at Norwich now, isn't he? He couldn't do no wrong last season. Now they're they're pointless still. Get him gone.
That's pointless.
I don't think when it comes to Farker, he's too loyal to his players, Matt, because like I think you said in the chat in the week, you got Grant Hanley there, good championship player. You got Pookie there, good championship player. They're nowhere near Premier League. But if I'm a Norwich fan, I'm frustrated because I look at teams like Brighton. Look what they're building there. Burnley, I know they're struggling this year. Even Brentford, look what Brentford are doing. They've come up. And they're setting the division alight. And Norwich are just going out with a whimper. It's great, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, a lot of Norwich fans can't understand what their plan is because obviously they've been promoted, sold Emi Buendia. They don't understand what the point of this whole going down, being stronger, coming back is all about if you're going to keep selling your best players.
Yeah.
Because Emi Buendia should be playing in a Norwich shirt and and there'd be a much better team with him. But they sold him.
Then if you flip it, when Fulham came up, when did Fulham spend 100 million, Matt? Was that, it wasn't under Parker. Who was the manager before him?
Oh, you Serbian guy. Yeah.
Jukanovic, who's at Sheffield United. He spent 100 million, and look what happened to them.
Well, old Smith at Villa spent a lot of money in that. They didn't hit the ground running to start off with, and then they clicked around Christmas time, and now look at them.
Then you got relegated, didn't they?
Everyone was talking about how it been money misspent and it was wasted, and they were a poor side. And then
they've done well with the Grealish money, Villa. If you look what they're doing, you know, they've spent that wisely. I know one player, he was a really good player, Jack Grealish for Villa, obviously, but probably selling him has improved them as a club now, hasn't it?
Yeah, as a unit. Yeah, absolutely.
But that's about sticking to a plan, isn't it? They could have been knee-jerk and sacked their manager when it wasn't going well after spending a lot of money, but they didn't. They stuck with it. And they've been rewarded. Doesn't always work, but maybe something there for Cookie to take away, and the owners and the fans there to take away. 2 instances we've highlighted there. Ben Moore, but done it smart. Fulham didn't. Right, we are going to leave Matt's Media Mogul till next week. We'll roll it over again. It's like the lottery.
I'll tell you what, it's well worth it if we get there maybe next week, maybe the week after.
Yeah.
He's less demanding than Crunchy, you see. He's a bit more chill about it. He'll go and complain to his missus. But
demanding? What's his name? Is it Samuel? Make sure you follow me on Twitter, Samuel. Come on. And Matt.
Yeah.
I've already followed you. I've had no follow back. I'm a little bit disappointed in you already.
It's a bad first impression, Samuel. Come on.
Poor Sam. Leave him alone.
He's
He's hopefully going to, take this hobby of mine and make it into
Martin's hobby. Yeah, this hobby. Yeah.
That needs a tax return. Only some of the Ipswich Town trolls. Right. I know. We are back tomorrow evening, 8:30, with Monday night's Talking Town Extra Time. The date tomorrow is the 27th. Joining me will be Vicky and TJ. So that's going to be an interesting little show because Vicky, be like Ben, Milkshake Man, season was over for Ben a couple of weeks ago. Well, that's back on now. Looking forward to
TJ won Best Dressed Fan last Saturday at Lincoln.
Did he?
Yeah, he was looking smart. I said, why are you wearing a lovely shirt and a pair of trousers? I'm going out in Nottingham afterwards.
Who voted him best dressed?
Yeah, Rich's new award.
Best dressed. Very, very smart.
All right, mate. Yes, TJ and Vicky.
You'll never win that. You'll never win best dressed.
No. I don't want to. I don't. When you're packing what I'm packing, son, you don't need what you're wearing.
It's got size 15 feet, everybody.
Exactly. And the GOAT will join us, and there'll be a live link for you all to have your say.
The GOAT will be. Do you reckon he'll be in his dressing gown? Before we go yesterday, I met Ian. Did you meet Ian yesterday, Matt?
Yes, I did, yeah. And Andy,
said, so Colin was there with Ian and Andrew, his other son, and I said, how come Ian talks really posh and you two don't?
What was the answer?
He's got a high-flying job. I don't know if maybe he doesn't really talk like that and it's a fake accent. I don't know, really.
I really do like Ian because what he said to you the other day. I've never heard that comment before. And
what was it? Have you had a fall?
Have you had a fall? I just thought that
was hilarious. I just thought, that's not a bad comment.
I've never seen that as an insult. Have you had a fall? I just thought it was brilliant. But as I said to you, I blame the parents, really. We'll see you tomorrow at 8:30.
We're on a journey, looking back on the things that we've taken for granted, but feels like we're learning to be better without what's been holding us back now.